After marrying my best friend's uncle, he spends every day in the lab, totally forgetting about me, his new wife. I take his money and party with my best friend all night, enjoying every moment, even checking out hot guys. But one day, we got caught in the act. He didn't even change out of his lab coat, pinning me to the bed. Whose abs do you like better? Theirs or my uniform play? After college graduation, my family went crazy trying to get me married. My best friend recommended her uncle. He's rich, handsome, and after the wedding, you'll have the life where your husband never comes home but leaves you with cash, and we can enjoy ourselves. I couldn't resist and quickly got hitched to my friend's uncle. Just as she said, Leo spent every day in the lab after our marriage, completely ignoring me. I couldn't help but complain to my friend, ever since we got married, your uncle's been invisible. Maybe he's just not into women? She thought for a moment, could be. We'll just enjoy life together. I was all for it. We started living our best lives, shopping like crazy. Leo's some top-tier researcher with tons of patents, not just your average rich guy. Still, I felt guilty using Leo's money. Just as my friend was about to say something, my phone rang. It was Leo. Got time? His voice hit hard. I stammered, yeah. Let's meet up. Somehow I agreed to a meeting without thinking. After hanging up, I was still spaced out. My friend noticed and offered to join me. So we met Leo together. When we arrived, he was already there, just sitting but exuding charisma. I had to admit, Leo's amazing, the kind to make anyone swoon, just a shame he doesn't like women. Shaking off my thoughts, we sat down, and Leo slid a card across the table. I was stunned. What's this? In his calm voice, Leo said, just got my bonus, a nice $200K. I was even more confused. He added, when the patent hits, more to come. I put your name down for it. I was in a daze, but my friend was ecstatic. Jackpot. Her excitement pulled me back to reality. I met Leo's gaze, unsure of what to say. If there's nothing else, I'll get back to work. He stood up and left. In his black suit, even his back was captivating. Giving his bonus to his wife right away. He might not be into women, but he's a good guy. Watching him leave, my friend joked, didn't think my uncle was so doting. I analyzed it, maybe he feels guilty. My friend replied, yeah, I heard he might actually like guys. Realizing his preference shook me a little, but I didn't dwell on it. Holding the card made me happy. So, are we going out tonight? On my treat, or should I say, your uncle's? My friend lit up at the idea. Let's hit the bar. At about 10 p.m., the nightclub was bustling. I relaxed, leaning on my friend. She was having a blast, ordering expensive drinks and even hiring male models to chat with us. Initially, surrounded by them felt odd, but they were respectful, so I eventually relaxed. The models varied in looks, quite a sight for sore eyes. Enjoying the vibe, I let loose, getting into the groove. Then I noticed a tall, striking figure in a white lab coat, standing out in the crowd. Handsome with defined features, he looked out of place. I couldn't take my eyes off him, and he was staring back. Our eyes met for a few seconds, bringing me back to my senses. Leo. Realizing it was him, I instinctively ducked under the table. My friend, puzzled by my actions, asked, Carrie, what's up? Desperately signaling her to keep quiet, she misread my cues, asking persistently about my state. Then, a chilling voice said nearby, oh? How are you planning to back her up? When my bestie heard this, she stiffly turned around, and when she saw his face, her smile was more like a grimace. Uncle, what are you doing here? Carrie, aren't you coming out? A low voice rang out. I had no choice but to awkwardly crawl out from under the table. When my eyes met the man's gloomy face, my smile was even more forced than my bestie's. Then I quickly reacted and blurted out, if you like male models, why don't you pick one too? Isn't he into guys? If that's the case, with all the different types, there's bound to be one he likes, right? I thought such a magnanimous offer would lighten up his mood. But to my surprise, his expression got even darker. As I was thinking of saying something to ease the tension, the man's large hands suddenly grabbed mine without warning. My bestie, seeing I was about to be taken away, got flustered and blocked our path. "Uncle." The man's gaze casually landed on her, and his voice was so cold. "Are you going back by yourself, or should I call your parents to pick you up?" My bestie was intimidated and shrunk back. "I'll go back by myself." I didn't know why Leo suddenly showed up in a lab coat, and the next moment, he was dragging me out of the bar. Before we left, my bestie, maybe trying to comfort me or herself, suddenly quipped, "Auntie, don't worry, my uncle won't do anything to you." With Leo's current vibe, I felt like I was about to be completely overwhelmed. The whole way, his face was stone cold, eyes fixed on the road, hands turning the steering wheel naturally. In his lab coat, he had a kind of appealing restraint, a tempting ascetic vibe. The tension in the air made even breathing feel stifling, so I coughed softly, trying to break the ice. "Looks like you were in the middle of an experiment. Why suddenly show up at the bar?" He pursed his lips into a straight line, clearly not intending to answer. After that wall, I clammed up, lowering my head in silence. Ever since we got married, Leo's been busy with work. Our place now, he's been here a few times, but only long enough to see me and have a quick meal. He never stays overnight. Most of his time is spent at the lab. Now we were entering the apartment. Just the two of us. I was starting to feel uncontrollably nervous. I awkwardly sat on the couch. As soon as I did, a sudden, soothing sandalwood scent filled the air, brewing a mysterious mood. Then, in his low voice, he asked, "Is the male model's abs better, or do you like my uniform look more?" His words caught me off guard, staring at me intently. My face turned red, spreading back to my ears. "Oh man, that's not what I meant. True, I went to the bar tonight. But checking out male models? That was all my bestie's idea. I just thought they were easy on the eyes. As for his uniform, I have to admit, he's seriously handsome enough to take your breath away. But knowing his preferences, I wouldn't cross any boundaries." After his question, I chuckled, and inexplicably replied honestly, "You're definitely more my type. Even if he likes guys, I can appreciate nice things, right?" Hearing my answer, his lips curved into a slight smile. Seemed like he was in a better mood. I thought getting caught tonight would make him mad, no way he'd let it slide. But he suddenly got up and headed to the bathroom. Soon the sound of running water came from inside. After a long day, I was tired too, so I headed to a different bathroom to freshen up. When I came out, he was still not done. I couldn't help but mumble to myself. Those with the same preferences are really meticulous, even more than some girls. After washing up, I went back to the bedroom. About 2 minutes later, there were slight sounds at the door, and it opened. Warm light filled the room, outlining his features more vividly and softly. My heart skipped a beat. "Why are you here?" Without batting an eye, he replied, "We're married, isn't it normal for me to be here?" Snapping back to my senses, I tensed up. He stepped towards the other side of the bed, and I felt the mattress sink slightly under his weight. This was the first time we'd shared a bed. Even knowing he had no interest in girls, it's only human to feel a bit anxious. "I'm going to sleep." Saying that, I pulled the blanket over my head. But soon I couldn't breathe, so I peeked out with a red face. Seeing me, he chuckled softly. His clear, low laugh echoed around the room. I went stiff, planning to say something when suddenly he moved closer. Frozen, I could only let the familiar, pleasant scent draw nearer. The atmosphere between us changed, teetering on unusual. As I tensed up, he unexpectedly wrapped me in his arms. "What are you doing?" I gasped. He sighed, pulling me closer, comforting me. I frowned, about to pull away, but I heard him behind me, speaking in a hoarse voice, "Just sleeping." His voice in my ear, I felt the heat from his body through the thin fabric, pressed against my skin. I murmured, and he didn't make any other move, holding me quietly. At the same time, a slightly strict voice came from behind, "Don't move." Held in his embrace, I could clearly feel his steady, strong heartbeat. And through the fabric, a certain part of him felt burning hot. My face was gradually turning red. At the same time, I couldn't help but remember when my best friend said Leo doesn't like women. Now, I seriously doubt she got that info wrong. Even though I was all tense, just like he said, he quietly held me the entire time. Gradually, I started to relax too. The space around us was filled with only the sound of our breathing, softly mingling together. The next day, when I got up, Leo had already left for work. He left a hot breakfast for me in the living room. Seeing the steaming breakfast made me pause for a moment. It seemed like the steam was sneaking its way into my heart. Remembering what happened last night, I quickly arranged to meet up with my best friend. We were both still a little shaken by everything that went down. My friend was pretty upset. We must be real unlucky to run into my second uncle at the bar. I pursed my lips. Really? That's all? Then I remembered why I wanted to see my friend in the first place. I gave her a rundown of what happened last night. "I seriously suspect your uncle might not be into guys at all." My friend, resting her chin on her hand, looked totally shocked after hearing me out. "Based on what you said, we definitely need to look into this. Let me check it out." Her little investigation led to a big surprise. She messaged me right away on contact information. Turns out there's a good chance my second uncle isn't into guys. Apparently, he's got an old childhood crush. I was surprised and, to be honest, a little jealous when I read her messages. I tried to shove that feeling deep down. Childhood crush? But I haven't met them. Logically, having been with Leo for so long, should have met everyone around him by now. My friend kept messaging, "This crush went abroad a few years ago and hasn't been around. I think my uncle's been holding out for her all this time, which is why he hasn't been surrounded by women." Even though I knew she meant no harm, something about those words hit me hard. She followed up with a hugging emoji right after. "But no matter what my uncle's been through, you're my aunt now." I knew my friend was trying to comfort me, so I hugged her back with an emoji. Then, out of nowhere, the childhood crush came back to the country. I never expected that right after returning, she'd ask to see me. I was floored when I got that call from an unknown number. But the voice on the other end was calm and sure. "You must be Carrie, Leo's wife?" I was a bit slow to catch on, but I admitted it anyway. No hesitation, the voice introduced itself. "I'm Rose, Leo's childhood crush. I grew up with him. I'm not one for beating around the bush, so let's cut to the chase. We should meet." Thinking she was a friend of Leo's, I politely accepted. At the coffee shop, Rose was already seated, lounging casually and looking sophisticated. She nodded slightly as I walked in. I sat across, smiling, "Nice to meet you." But she didn't even bother with pleasantries. She smirked. I expected Leo's wife to be someone impressive. Clearly, I was wrong. She took a sip of coffee. "Now that I'm back, you should step aside." I was filled with confusion. Was she out of her mind? Ignoring my friendly demeanor, Rose went on. "Leo and I have a bond that outsiders can't understand. If I hadn't gone abroad, I'd be the one by his side. Now that I'm back, it's your time to go." I couldn't hold back and replied sharply, "Are you out of your mind?" She pushed on, "He only married you because he thought I wasn't coming back." Then she pulled out her phone, showing me pictures of her and Leo as kids. "See these? We've always been together." Rolling my eyes, I shot back, "A few childhood pictures? That means he likes you?" My retort left her at a bit of a loss for words. Her elegant facade started to break down. "And what about you? How did you end up with him, spending Leo's hard-earned money all day? What else can you do?" I refused to back down. "None of your business if my husband wants to support me." With that, I got up and left, not giving her any more of my time. Even though I walked out with confidence, inside, I felt that familiar pang of jealousy. As soon as I got home, I could smell the delicious aroma of food. There was Leo, busy in the kitchen. The table was brimming with dishes. Seeing me, Leo smiled gently, "Wash up and let's eat." A simple phrase, yet so warm and homey. In the kitchen, out of the lab and relaxed, he seemed different, kinder. But there was also this sense he was closer to me. Leo's cooking was surprisingly good, matching my taste perfectly. Seeing me dazed, he served me some stir-fried eggs and chives. "I know I've been distant before. I'll make more time for you." The way he said it was filled with tenderness. Looking into his deep eyes, I couldn't help but feel a bit lost. He's still him, but something feels different. Lost in thought, I was brought back by his deep voice. "We need to stock up on home supplies, right?" "Huh?" With a puzzled look on my face, the man spoke in a low, serious voice. "Let's go together later." Throughout the ride, he was super gentle and considerate. I got really nervous once we got out of the car, and by the time we reached the mall parking lot, my nerves were at their peak. After he turned off the car, he walked over to my side and gently patted my hand on my knee, like he was reassuring me. When his warm, dry hand touched mine, it felt like a small electric shock. I bit my lip shyly and got out of the car with him. While shopping, if my eyes lingered a moment longer on anything, he'd grab it without hesitation. So, just from a simple shopping trip, we ended up with a ton of bags. Seeing him carrying all those shopping bags, I suddenly felt a pang of guilt. "Let's go back." He looked at me seriously, "Not planning to shop more?" I shook my head. He chuckled softly, saying he'll come shopping with me next time. Leo carried all the bags in one hand and used the other to hold mine, leading me forward. As he led me, my mind went blank. I seemed to forget how to keep my heartbeat steady, just following him dazedly. Suddenly, he stopped, set the bags down, and knelt in front of me casually. Startled, I looked down. He was tying my loose shoelace with his nimble fingers. The space around us was quiet, and I swear I could hear my heart pounding. After tying the laces, he stood up, smiling gently. "You're like a kid. Be more careful, okay?" Every move he made was a major plus in his favor. I thought when Leo said he'd spend time with me, he was just saying it to comfort me. But for the past few days, he really did spend a lot of time with me. Taking me everywhere to shop, holding my hand sweetly when we walked. During these days together, our relationship unknowingly deepened. Early next morning, I got a package from my best friend. I didn't expect her to send me something, so I opened it in the living room out of curiosity. Inside was a black dress with lace fabric. "Is this a dress?" I pulled it out to get a better look. But the second I took it out, I was floored. It was a bold piece of lingerie. A note fluttered out. "I figured it out, this is perfect for testing my uncle's orientation." The man on the sofa paused, glancing up, and to my surprise, a faint red appeared on his face. "If you like this kind of thing, I can help you find more online." My face turned beet red, and the air became filled with awkward tension. Clutching the outfit, I fled to my room. Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. But after these days together, I think I've figured out that he probably doesn't like guys. After that incident, being in the same room with him made me inexplicably nervous. He seemed to notice and suggested we go shopping after dinner. After leaving, he, his usual self, took my hand as we walked. Feeling his warm hand covering mine brought immense comfort. Halfway through shopping, Leo went to the restroom, and I waited on a nearby bench. I turned my head and saw someone familiar. Rose. She wasn't surprised to see me. Instead, she gave me a smug smile. Then she quickly ran towards Leo. I turned back to see Rose standing in front of Leo, smiling sweetly. "Leo, I'm back in town. Did you miss me?" She made some playful physical gestures, poking his chest lightly. But no matter what she did, his face remained tight without a hint of a smile. Seeing no extra reaction, Rose pouted playfully. "You definitely missed me but just couldn't say it, right?" To an outsider, it almost looked like something was up between them. Just as Rose was about to do more, Leo naturally took a step in my direction. He stood by my side, casually resting a hand on my waist, looking at Rose. "This is my wife, Carrie." Hearing that, Rose's face was filled with disbelief, but she forced a smile. "Leo, how come you suddenly got married? And to someone I've never even heard of?" "I get it, you were pressured into it, weren't you?" Leo calmly broke her illusion. "We're deeply in love. She's the only one I'll ever look at." His unexpected confession left me dazed. He said he likes me? Likes me a lot. While I was stunned, Rose was clearly furious. Her nails were digging into her palms, trying to mask her anger. She took a deep breath, asking, "Leo, I just got back. Haven't visited your folks in a while. Let's go together, okay?" It was obvious she wanted some alone time with Leo. Looking a bit annoyed, the next moment, his deep voice asked me unexpectedly, "Want to come with me to the family house? Mom and Dad would love to see you." He was seeking my opinion, and I glanced at him in surprise. She then shyly nodded her head. Ever since we got hitched, apart from our wedding day, it seems like we hadn't formally visited Leo's parents. Rose, with her brazenness, joined us in the same car. On the ride, Leo shamelessly flaunted our love. "Baby, could you hand me the water? Baby, my back's a bit itchy. Could you scratch it for me? Baby, does my hair look a little messy? Could you fix it?" We kept up this interaction in front of Rose, and I could see out of the corner of my eye that she was boiling mad, though trying hard to hold it together. Leo had given his parents the heads up that we were coming back. Before we entered, Rose gave me a smug look, then as soon as the door opened at the old house, she rushed past me. She cozied up to Leo's parents with a sugary voice, "Uncle, Auntie, I'm back in the country. It's so great to see you again. I've missed you a lot all these years abroad. Have you missed me?" Seeing Rose surprised Leo's parents a bit too. They politely greeted her, "Oh, it's Rose. When did you get back?" After a bit of chit-chat, their eyes turned toward me. "Carrie, was the car ride tiring? Must have been a long journey. What would you like to eat? I can have the kitchen whip up a few more dishes. You seem such a delightful young girl and remind me so much of myself when I was younger," Leo's mom said, warmly holding my hand. With that, my nerves started to ease up. "Mom, I'm not tired. I should have come to visit you sooner, but I was just caught up with work," I replied. Leo's dad laughed heartily, "It's all right. Come whenever you like, we're family now. This kiddo has gotten so much more humane since he got with you. Just for that, you're a huge blessing to our family." We had a blast chatting away, and Rose, who seemed like she wanted to be the center of attention, faded into the background. Unable to contain herself, she fiddled with her fingers before glancing at Leo, who had a slight smile on his lips. Her eyes lit up, and she suddenly leaned closer to Leo. "Leo, remember how I used to love coming to the old house and finding you? I used to follow you around calling you brother, and you took such good care of me. There was a time I fell and cried so hard, and you comforted me forever. Those were the days, right?" As she inched closer to him, Leo subtly furrowed his brow. He even shifted over, getting closer to me. "What are you talking about?" "I don't remember," he said without even sparing her a glance, focusing entirely on me. "Wife, you haven't given me any attention since we walked in. I'm heartbroken." His deep voice caught everyone off guard, making Leo's parents wonder if their son really said that. Under their curious gazes, my face flushed instantly. "What's up with this man?" Ignoring the surprised looks from everyone else, he softly brushed my hair. "Are you thirsty? I'll get you some water." He not only got me the water but also fed it to me in front of everyone. Nervously, I took it from him and drank. As Leo's parents teasingly remarked, "Ah, young love." Rose's face turned sour at that. And just then, there was another commotion at the entrance. Leo's sister, Sunny, walked in. The moment Rose spotted Sunny, it was like she saw a lifeline and rushed over to her. "Sunny, did you know I'm back?" But Sunny's response was cool, leaving Rose in an awkward spot again. Suddenly, Sunny's gaze landed on me, her eyes sparkling. "Are you the sister-in-law?" Her warmth made me feel a bit at a loss. Getting up close to me, Sunny teased Leo, "Big brother, you married the girl you like." I was so confused. Could the intel my best friend gave me not have come from Sunny? Thinking this, I blissfully asked, "Didn't you say Leo likes guys?" Sunny paused, then burst into laughter. "I was joking, he only has eyes for you." Sunny became animated, holding my hand and chattering on, "He was smitten with you the moment he saw you. Found out which school you were attending back in high school and transferred just so he could catch a glimpse of you. His biggest hobby was sneaking peeks at you every day. Who'd have thought the aloof Prince Charming has such a love-struck side? Did you know he even had a notebook all about you?" Listening to all the details of Leo's affection, I was floored. The atmosphere became really harmonious. Leo's face was full of pride and love. Rose, her face clouded, saw no one was paying her any mind, stomped her foot angrily, and left in a huff. The room was filled with harmony, and everyone was focused on Leo, the hero of the hour. I couldn't help but blush, feeling the heat sweep over my face. In the midst of it all, I thought Leo might be bashful about this. But he suddenly grasped my hand tenderly, looking deeply into my eyes. "Carrie, I've always liked you so much for ages. Hearing about our marriage made me ecstatic. I've been so careful with this relationship, worried you might dislike me. Now that I am your husband, I vow to cherish and treasure you for a lifetime." Besides feeling shy, I was totally shocked. And there was this feeling of confusion growing inside me. "But if you like me, why have we been married for so long?" Before I could finish speaking, everyone around me stopped and stared at me with puzzled expressions. Leo got it right away. That night, I was struggling so hard. Just a simple sentence froze the atmosphere in the room again. Everyone there was an adult, and they got it instantly. I wanted to crawl into a hole, I was so embarrassed. I bit my lip and gathered the courage to ask, "Why hold back?" His voice was still strong, serious, and deep. "What if I scared you?" All right, I was already pretty shy, and now, I just wanted to run out the door. When I got back home, I was still in a daze. Turns out, he's had a plan for me ever since we first met. I'd thought it was just a random marriage, but he meant it seriously. Once we got in, he couldn't wait to press me against the wall, trapping me between him and it, staring down at me with those dark eyes. Suddenly, there was this familiar and pleasant scent, making my heart race. In a husky voice, he asked, "Is this okay?" Gently, I grabbed his collar and pulled him closer, my actions giving him my answer. He chuckled softly, cupping my face tenderly. In the next second, I felt the soft touch of his lips. His movement was wild but also careful. I thought it was just a normal kiss, but soon realized it wasn't that simple. The room started heating up, filled with my breathless pleas. I was perfectly happy, all right. Thinking about our upcoming sweet honeymoon, I felt so much joy. Somehow, my best friend found out we were going on a trip and was waiting at the door, all packed and ready to join us. Seeing her grinning wide at the door, Leo's eyebrows furrowed seriously. "Who invited you?" Giggling, she said, "Heard you were going on a trip, I'm coming too." As she spoke, she hooked her arm around mine. Leo's voice dropped a tone, "Step away, she's my wife." With a firm grip on my hand, my friend wasn't backing down, "She's my best friend." Seeing them almost fight over me, I couldn't help but laugh. Two ridiculous kids.